What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word? Hummingbird. Well, the word for the day is incest. Let's talk about Elon Musk's father, Errol Musk, and his stepdaughter, Jana Bezuidenhout. So let me give you a brief history. Okay, so Errol Musk, Elon Musk's father, married Elon Musk's mother back in 1970. They were married from 1970 to 1979, and within that union, they had three children: Elon, Kimball, and Tosca. After they divorced in 1979, somewhere around there, Errol Musk met and married Heidi Bezuidenhout. Heidi Bezuidenhout at that time had two children, Jada Bezuidenhout being one of those two kids that she had from a previous relationship. At the time that Errol and Heidi Bezuidenhout married, Jana was only 4 years old. So I think they were married for about, I don't really remember how long they were married, but I think they eventually divorced. I'm not even sure if they divorced or I don't know if they divorced or not, but he raised this child from the age of 4. So in 2017, they had a daughter together. No, they had a son together in 2017. And in 2019, they had their second child together. So as of right now, Errol Musk claims that him and Jana are not together, but they are living together in the same home in Pretoria, South Africa. So the only thing that I want to say about this disgusting case is that Errol Musk is a disgusting predator. There's no way that you could make this look anything other than what it is: incest. This child is your stepdaughter. It doesn't matter that she's not related to you by blood. You raised her as one of your own children. You knew her and you raised her from the age of 4. So at some point, you are developing an attraction for her. And I seriously doubt that Errol Musk waited until Jana was of age before he put his hands on her. I seriously doubt that. I think that he was slowly but surely conditioning her, programming her, brainwashing her, whatever you want to call it, to the point where at some point they end up having two kids together when she was a legal adult, obviously. I think she is 35 years old right now. So he was, I think, before she became an adult, before she became a legal adult, I think this man was already working on her. He was already in the process of working on her, conditioning her to be his lover at some point. And I don't think he waited until she was 18 or however old she was when they started sleeping together. There's no way I'm going to believe that. I think that things were happening before she became a legal adult. That's my opinion, that things were happening before she became a legal adult. A person who would do that, who would lust after his stepdaughter and have children with his stepdaughter, a stepdaughter that he raised from the time that she was 4 years old. There's no way I'm going to believe that his attraction for her just started after she became a legal adult. I think he was watching her. He was, playing with her mind, doing things to her before she even became an adult. So that's the scary part. And I don't know what her mother has to say about any of this. Elon Musk himself thinks that the whole thing is disgusting. Him and his father are estranged. Him and his father really don't have much of a relationship as of now. This is his stepsister. Jana Bezuidenhout is his stepsister. And the crazy thing about it is that Errol Musk and Heidi, Jana's mother, they had two biological children together. So Errol Musk was having relations and having children with his stepdaughter, who was the blood biological sister of two of his children. And I just don't understand how you have not father figure, because I'm talking about his biological children that he had with Heidi. You have your father who raised you and your half sister together up until whatever point. I don't know how long him and Heidi were married. Your father raised you and your sister together, and then your father ends up having children with your sister. This is so twisted. Out of The thing that really gets me about people who do this, predators who do this, is that out of all the people on this earth, the millions and billions of people on this earth, You had to pick a child that you raised in your household. You had to pick the child that is a sibling, a biological sibling to your own children. You had to pick a child that at some point probably called you daddy. You were that uncontrollable. You cannot control yourself to the point where, and I don't want to use the R word because, like, I feel like it is some sort of that, especially if she was still a minor. It was some sort of that when you have messed with someone's mind to the point where they end up laying in your bed with you and they end up having kids with you. You have messed. I don't think that this was at any point. I don't think this woman was in her right mind when she was having these children with him. I don't think she was in her right mind. I think that she was conditioned ever since she was a child, brainwashed, programmed, whatever you want to call it today. He'd been messing with her mind ever since she was a child, and it came to the point where he was taking advantage of her. Then she had kids with him. I don't think this is not normal. I don't think that any of this was like consensual in the sense of consensual between a man and a woman. I just don't think so. Even if she had these kids, which she did as an adult woman, her mind, I don't think was like, I just don't think that she was right in her mind. How could she be? The person who raised you is now doing these things to you, impregnating you. There's no way that this woman is in her right mind. There's just no way. And if she's not in her right mind, then it's very similar to that R word. So it's sad, it's disgusting. And then he's talking about this as if there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. He is giving interviews about this. He is talking about how, yeah, she's living with me, but we're not together. Yes, we have these kids. I didn't do a DNA on the second child, but I know that the second child is most likely mine because she looks like my other daughters. He's saying things like, sometimes, the kids, when they're living with me, the kids get on my nerves, but then when they leave, I miss them. You're talking about the kids that you had with your stepdaughter, a person that you raised since the age of 4. Unfreaking believable. This world is turned completely upside down, inside out. For a man to show his face and to give interviews and to talk about his relationship with a child that he raised. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this is very similar to the whole Woody Allen thing. Woody Allen, Mia Farrow, and Woody Allen married and had children with the stepchild that he had, not the stepchild, the adopted child that he had with Mia Farrow. And people are just like letting this man walk around like this is completely normal. I don't know. Y'all, I just can't. Moving on. I can't. So, moving on. Ricky Martin and his nephew. So reports came out, I think it was towards the end of June, I don't know, somewhere around there, that someone had filed a protective order against Ricky Martin. They were alleging that him and this person were in some type of a relationship, and Ricky Martin was upset that the relationship ended, and so this person had filed a protective order against Ricky Martin. Fast forward to right about now sometime. The person who was identified as the victim of the protective order, they say is Ricky Martin's nephew. And when that news came out, you could have knocked me over with a feather because Ricky Martin was huge in the 90s, the mid to late 90s. Ricky Martin was bigger than life. Okay, that Livin' La Vida Loca song was playing nonstop, just about on every single radio station. And he was big. He was huge. He was on the level of like Celine Dion and Michael Jackson and, just these big time people. He was huge. I'm not sure what happened after his music career ended in the United States. I don't know if he was still making music in other parts of the world. I have no idea. But at some point, he ended up getting married to his husband. They moved to Puerto Rico. They had kids together. And I'm thinking that they're just living happily ever after, raising their children in Puerto Rico, living off of the fruits of his labor. Well, this report comes out about this nephew filing charges against Ricky Martin, alleging that Ricky Martin had a romantic relationship with his own nephew, and that when the nephew ended it, Ricky Martin couldn't take it, and so he started stalking this young man who was about 25, 27 years old. He began stalking this young man, and the young man had to get a protective order against him. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. because some people are saying, well, people from Ricky Martin's camp, also one of his brothers, who is not the father of the nephew, has come out to say that this nephew has some mental health issues and that this is an extortion plot, that there is no truth at all to what he's alleging about him and Ricky Martin having this affair or having this relationship. Absolutely no truth to it. And it's just a plot or a ploy to get money out of Ricky Martin. Now, the people who are on the nephew side are saying that this was very much a relationship and it ended and Ricky Martin couldn't take it, so this guy had to get a protective order against him. There's a court date coming up towards the end of July, I believe, and so we just have to wait and see what this court date how this court date is going to play out. Ricky Martin is extremely famous, extremely wealthy, has a lot of pull, has a lot of money. He can make this story go away. And I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. I think that this story is going to end up fizzling out. I don't think that we will ever know exactly what happened. But it's just crazy that a story like this would come out, because like a part of me is like, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's something happening there. There's something nefarious going on there. But then again, it is very possible, because of his wealth and his status, that people would want to extort him. Now, when I went on Twitter, a lot of the comments were saying that this is not even his blood nephew, as if, yeah, something was going on between them, but who cares, because it's not his blood nephew. I don't think it matters whether it's blood or by marriage. I don't think it matters. In some jurisdictions, when it comes to the crime of incest, it has to be with a blood relative. And in some jurisdictions, it doesn't matter if it's by blood or by marriage. So if it's a stepchild, a step nephew, it doesn't matter. So supposedly, he's facing 50 years if it's proven in a court of law that he did commit incest. He's facing 50 years in jail. I don't think that's going to happen because of who he is. But why would this story even come out? So, I mean, it's possible. It's possible that it could all be a ploy to get money out of him. I don't doubt that people do that. I don't doubt that at all. But then I just don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe. I do not know what to believe. There's no way that, a person like me can say for certain either way. Who knows? We just have to wait and see how it plays out. But I don't think we'll ever know the truth. I think that this story will definitely die down. It might pop up again, after the court hearing to kind of figure out or find out what happened in court. But I think after that, unless they're going to indict him, this story will definitely fizzle out. I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it. And that's just that, unfortunately. That is my little quick conversation about a couple of current events. Thank you so much for joining me. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe, and I'll definitely talk to you later.